The pressure on the boy is so great that they're already saying he will become the top scorer in the history of Real Madrid, the top scorer in all cups, and even the top scorer in the history of football. Imagine how exaggerated that is. The player has barely begun his career and is already facing such pressure, being dubbed a new Pelé, Ronaldo, and now Neymar, or the savior of the Brazilian national team, are terms that always come up. But today, we will talk about how Endrick is, unfortunately, yet another victim of media hype. Because every day there's a new story about the kid with exaggerated and senseless comparisons. Well, let's understand why Endrick is so overrated. Endrick has shown talent since he was a child, being a fast player with a great shot. His father dreamed of becoming a player but couldn't make it, and he noticed his son's talent early on and invested in it. The boy went to play for São Paulo, but as the family was going through financial difficulties, Endrick's father wanted to work at the club to closely follow his son and have the possibility of earning some extra money to support the family. However, São Paulo refused and only offered to help with some costs, and gave only 10 for that. He ended up at Palmeiras through the Verdão's youth coordinator, who discovered the boy and his full story of hardship, which you probably already know, so I'll move on to the focus of this video. When Neymar emerged, there was no doubt that he would succeed, endure the pressure, and become a great player. The question was how soon he would be at a top European club and be a protagonist for the Brazilian national team. With Gabriel Jesus, it was the same thing. Perhaps Vinicius was the most underestimated among them, and at the beginning, there were many people who didn't believe he would develop the necessary skills for the high European level. But you could still see he was different. Maybe he was the first with a bit more experience, but there wasn't that much certainty, and it didn't take long to captivate the country and become the media's focus. But Endrick falls into the group of those considered a matter of time to take off, and I think that's correct. The direct comparison in this generation has been with Vitor Rocha, and in my personal opinion, for my taste in football, Vitor Rocha is more ready than Endrick, and has demonstrated more resources on the field for his role. But it's necessary to recognize that Endrick has a greater guarantee of prominence and size in the future than the young Barcelona player. It might seem a bit confusing, but the boy from Palmeiras has something extra. It's not just evident from the interviews, but from the way he carries himself on the field, the inspirations he has for life, and the way he's been managing his career. A young boy who could be enjoying life like any other, as Neymar did, but who already says that's not his focus. He doesn't like to go out. He prefers a restaurant with his family over a nightclub. And sorry if you think that's not a big deal or has no relation to the field, then the cases of Neymar and Ronaldinho really didn't teach you anything. The whole world is watching him, and of course, various opinions will emerge. That's normal. There isn't a single player whose game is accepted unanimously by all football consumers. None. And it's important to understand that and keep focused on improving his fundamentals more and not holding on to that kind of idea. To conclude, it's essential to remember that Endrick, like any talented young player in the world of football, is constantly evolving. Criticisms and expectations can be challenging, but there are also opportunities for growth and maturity. The key is to focus on personal and professional development, filtering external opinions constructively. Endrick has a promising future ahead, and it will be interesting to follow his journey and see how he will overcome obstacles and reach his full potential. Thank you for watching and sharing your opinions. Until the next video.